Welcome to an exclusive look at Dr. Gustavo's Millennial Masterclass. Enjoy and stay tuned to the end, where you can learn more about this dynamic program.
All right, so let's talk about Gen Ys at work. First, communication is constant. What's their favorite form of communication? It's texting, asynchronous. We're going to talk a lot about it. Texting is part of the technology that shapes this generation, the behaviors of this generation. So texting. Work ethic. Some people say they have none. I happen to disagree with that assessment. They do. It just happens to be different from previous generations. So I'm going to define these two for you here, and we're going to do a deep dive into both these in the last section. Relationships means they do come to work to make friends, period. They do come to work to make friends. Gallup has been doing a survey for about 50 years. That survey is called the Q12. The Q12 is a predictor of employee retention. One of the questions on the Q12 used to be, I have a close friend at work. That question has recently changed to, I have a best friend at work, which means for previous generations, these questions were predictors of employee retention. I argue that for this generation, these are determiners of employee retention, which means they simply will not stay where they are not engaged. And I'm not talking about months to years. I'm talking about days to weeks. We must engage them early if we're going to keep them in our workforce. Next is cause. Cause is defined as meaning, significance, big picture, purpose. They want everything they do to have cause, meaning, significance, big picture, purpose. Which means it is incumbent upon us to drive our cause down to even entry-level positions. Even entry-level positions must be in some direct way tied to our cause. And let me be painfully clear here. Making profit is not a cause. Making profit to a business is like breathing to a human being. It is necessary for life, but it does not define a meaningful life. Profit is not cause. If you want to create a cause for your organization, you must be able to answer one of these two questions. This is what defines cause. How does what you do, your product or service, how does what you do change the world or change human experience in the world? Let me say that again. How does what you do, your product or service, change the world or change human experience in the world? I don't care if you make widgets. I care how your widgets change the world or change human experience in the world. Profit is not cause. So let me come back to the idea of loyalty. Because we're going to be hitting this all day. Loyalty is another pendulum swing for this generation. For silent generation, it was loyalty to company. For boomers, it was loyalty to team. For Xers, it's loyalty to skill set. For Gen Ys, it's loyalty to relationships and cause. Let me emphasize here, this revolving door of 2 years does not have to happen to us if we build a culture that emphasizes both relationships and cause. It is in everyone's advantage, to everyone's benefit, to leverage relationships and cause. The top 2 reasons businesses fail in this country, number 1 is undercapitalization, number 2 is turnover. And I argue that there are huge advantages to every generation to having longevity in our organizations. So again, loyalty is to relationships and cause. I want to be clear here that organizations, and we'll talk about this in the last section, organizations that have been able to bring these 2 factors in particular into their culture, not only reap the benefits with Gen Y, they reap the benefits with every generation in the workforce. One culture, every generation in the workforce.
You've just watched a brief preview of Dr. Gustavo's Millennial Masterclass. With the Millennial Masterclass program, you'll take a deep dive into how this generation works so you can better understand millennials, leverage their strengths, recruit your future leaders, build one culture for every generation in the workforce, and secure your company's competitive advantage. Millennial Masterclass features more than 5 hours of video training including 5 actionable learning modules with proven integration exercises for managers and leaders from every generation. If you're ready to tap into the largest generation in today's workforce, Dr. Gustavo can teach your team everything they need to know. So go to drgustavo.com/products. That's drgustavo.com/products.